All right. What's up, everybody? We're back again with Shadowbringers, but this time patch content. It is currently 5:51, so we have plenty of time to dash our way through this content. Hopefully I can make it all the way through in one night, but it's kind of unlikely. But we'll try. And as you can see on the bottom left there, I got a new chat box. And hello, David. What's up, man? I appreciate you coming in anyways, even though you're busy. Thank you. Yeah, we'll see if that chat box looks better. Basically, I embedded the chat into the stream itself, so I don't have to like do whatever the hell I was doing before. And I just chose to do a 8-bit layout because, you know, it's cute. It's kind of like Final Fantasy themed in a way. But if it's ugly, I'll change it back to like a regular Twitch theme. But yeah, let's begin. Ooh, get a new weapon. Inari, gods, it's good to see you. I hope your being here means you've had your fill of rest. Not so much as 40 winks, truth be told, because I didn't have to wait for patch content, lol. You're too selfless, that's your problem. But you'll be no good to anyone if you don't take a break every once in a while. Anyway, not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pearl. I do hope he's alright. We've been exchanging messages with the Eorzean Alliance throughout, though. They say the fighting has finally stopped at Gimlet Dark, and that the Empire has shown no sign of movement. Which means we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, maybe you could tell me more about your time in the First? Great. Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Flam... But I forgot how to say her name, Flamin' Hot Cheetos, to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. We'll meet you on the terrace at the House of Splendors. Where's House of Splendors again? Oh. It's right outside. Oh, wrong way. What the heck? Up? Oh, I didn't even know this was an area. What the heck? Hello, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Inari, my, has been too long. Tataru did mention that I would be joining you, did she not? Thank you. Words cannot well express how I have longed to know more of the First. This world Minfilia has sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. Tataru should be arriving shortly. And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next oracle? This girl who Thancred named Noreen? To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it and when given the choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. Inari, might I ask a favor of you when you next return to the First? To tell Reen what I cannot. To tell her thank you. And I would offer thanks to you as well for staying with her to the end. Begging your pardon, but could I have a word? Who's this? Real, I hope you're here to tell me you've received word from our helper. I wish. Nay, I have not had a peep out of him, and it's been a good long while now. Too bloody long. On account of which, I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can't get a signal to him from closer up. But what if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, it ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking me way through the gimlet. Now the fighting's died down. Gods know there's enough shadows to hide in. And it beats waiting around here twiddling me thumbs. Any road, I just thought I'd let you know. Now I best be. Ah, I nearly forgot. Crowds at the stones and she wants a word. Something to do with the patient. She was getting ready to examine him again when I left. Oh god. The poison's getting deployed. We best head back then. I'm sure it's important. What are these quests? Why are they unavailable to me? Oh, they're crafting quests. I'll get to crafting one day. That'll probably be the last thing I do in this game, to be honest. Gotta let my dog out. Heck. Oh, this light's kind of bright today. I think that's a little better. Still a little bright. Ah, that's better. Wonderful. It seems she's still examining them. Oh, I do hope it's nothing bad. They're fucking dead.
You're here. Good.
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
Is she talking about our companions?
I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed. Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I mean, they have a
I
different
cannot
body.
say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be
So it's
that
kind
as
of
it may,
uncomfortable.
it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
Leave it to me.
Thank you.
But where's she even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct?
So
Our
kill him.
always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the First and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
Every time I hear the Exarch, I always think of Exar Kun from Star Wars. Like, what a cool name, right? Exar Kun. Meanwhile, this dude's just that crystal Exarch. Sag. You know what does Exarch even mean? Exarch. A bishop lower in rank than a patriarch and having jurisdiction wider than the metropolitan of a diocese. A governor of a distant province under the Byzantine emperors. Okay, well, I guess it's just another word for like an emperor. Or a governor. Ah, Henry, you are returned. I hope your time in the source was suitably restful. But of course it wasn't. Go on. Their corporeal ether shows signs of instability? By the gods, the possibility never even occurred to me. If you have returned in the hopes that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you will be sorely disappointed. 'Tis but a mercy we have the likes of Mistress Kryle and Master Matoya to keep our friends' bodies safe while we wrestle with the problem. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told. I mean, hasn't a lot more time passed where they are? No, where are the others? Alright, Thancred and Villia are in the light wasteland. I don't know where Urianger is. Oh, there he is.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Sorry, Reen, not Manfilia. Where am I
Nay,
at?
lady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryle's findings.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryle is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Is that what they were doing this entire time? Question mark?
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration. Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the First. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away, not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
Oh, damn, she's strong.
What was that for?
How are we even sure that
How
that
can
killing
you
him
even
works?
entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless she says so.
Yeah, tell him off, Alize.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
What did you just...
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion? Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary's success. I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of her body and soul, but her personal effects besides. This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us her possessions, she could carry our souls back to the source upon her person?
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change.
Haha, you guys belong to
Vague
me
notions
now.
of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on her part, and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet were we to immure our souls within an object in her possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured. White auracite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease. We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back onto our vacant bodies.
This sounds so risky, dog.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us. On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves.
The elves.
It was
In
forsaken
the
in
source?
the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after.
Huh.
Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrand is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae Folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
Time to choose some meat again. Lemonade. Lemonade. Want some oysters. Wait, the foods have item levels? I think I might have noticed this before, but I completely forgot. Okay. The Grand Cosmos, that is, the palace we seek, stands on the opposite shore of the source. I will arrange for a boat to carry us the way. Am I supposed to understand this statement? Opposite shore of the source. I am confused. While thou journeyest thither, I think it best that I devote mine energies to the creation of White Oriside, by thy leave, of course. The process requireth no small amount of time, and should the Numo consent to lend us their aid, we will have need for a suitable vessel ere long. Agreed, and I would ask the rest of you to meet me in Sullen, and do be prepared for a warm reception. Where is Sullen again? Oh, what the? I've been here? Okay, so I go this way and then down. Oh, it's gonna be a long ass ride. How close am I to? So Aether Currents. We're in Lakeland. We need to find 4 more and do 2 more quests. So, I mean, it's not that far away, right? Maybe I'll just do all of these off stream next time. Wait, there's a TP over there? Oh, wait, that's farther. Okay. Where is this place? Oh, right. That's the little castle area. I'm trying to operate under a calorie deficit right now to lose some weight. And oh my god, it's challenging. My body feels like it's trying to give up on itself. I'm so used to eating so much. Definitely doesn't feel good right now. But the fact is, my diet is not currently sustainable. I've been like oh my god, I'm stuttering. I'm so tired. I can't even talk. I've been steadily gaining weight since like I was 17, so the only way you gain weight is by eating more calories than you need, so just gotta break that habit. Which is so difficult because food is actually like the only joy in life. Like sure, gaming is fun, social interaction is fun, but food, bro? That shit makes me feel alive. Like I truly think that I enjoy food like way more than the average person. It's kind of crazy like how good I feel when I eat. Wonder if something like that could be considered an addiction. As I told you before, I had scarcely set foot on the palace grounds when I was set upon by our host familiars, and I expect our reception today to be no different, which is why I propose we march through the main gate, weapons drawn. I'm sorry, but are we not here looking to petition for assistance? You can't honestly think barging in looking for a fight is going to persuade them. Actually, I believe the Exarch may have the right of it. They have no doubt poured a great deal of time and energy into their creations. Were I them, I should be most interested to meet with those who could overcome my defenses. As with any true seeker of knowledge, and there is little we can say or do to convince them to help us if we know nothing of their character, nor less why they chose to hide themselves from the world. But if we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. Interesting. Weapons strong it is, then. Though I must say, Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all of this. This is a dream, man. You're a good guy. Do I? Well, I will not deny that I enjoy the thought of fighting alongside you all rather than pacing about inside the Crystal Tower. Is he gonna be okay? He's gonna be far from the tower or so. You both seem to be in rather high spirits, if you ask me. Not that I'm surprised. Your moods invariably improve when Inari is around. What exactly are you implying? She averted a calamity, and the light which seemed destined to consume her has been extinguished. It's only natural that we'd be pleased to see her. Yes, well, you will have plenty of time to celebrate her good health after we finished here. Of course. Then let us proceed to the palace. I'm sure all of our companions will want to revisit the first. So like whatever method we think of to send them back must also include a way to bring them back here whenever they want, right? I think that they would have to do that to justify the trust system as well. It's cool that his hood's finally down though. It's so weird. He looks so different. It's crazy how much a hood can do. I mean, there was also like some shadows that covered the rest of his face as well. But he looks smaller now. I never noticed that he's like my height. Dude's like 5'2". How tall is Ishtola? I'm taller than Ishtola. Ishtola's not even 5. My character is 5 feet tall, man. Like, what is going on? This is one ugly Star Wars motherfucker. What the? Wait, is this gonna be one boss fight? Please. Give me that EXP. No, it's not. It's Edge. What just happened? Well, I'm lagging, dude. What's going on? So no one in here. Oh, hello. Yo, my TVN didn't break. This is so fun. Easy clap. Are these guys gonna be monsters or something? No? Okay. Nice flex. What the? Those are some ugly creatures, man. Where do I go? Does it go off? I really love AoE combos. They always build like whatever gauge you have way faster. Feels so good. Like, look at that. Excuse me. Nice. Oh, grooms are coming in? I got a 1 stack. What the fuck? Oh shit. What just happened? Oh, look at that summoner go. Ow. I didn't put like mitigation. Oops. They get another 1 stack? Oh god. Ah. Nice. Oh, he's just dipping? Okay. Wait, what the? This person was already here? I feel like I've seen my brother play this map before. Also, no one went for the coffer so much. I'm pretty sure I can just full map pull in this. I think I might have seen this on like a tank guide too. And they're like full pull. I think I got all of them? No? I need to rewatch tank guides because I don't actually know how to efficiently pull everything. Like, I feel like I always miss aggroing one here and there. Oh, it's a Sith. Speaking of Jedi, what the heck? Storm of Color, I'll just PBM that. Okay, good. Storm of Color, anything cluster. That also does more damage. I don't know what this does. Should someone do something about that sea? Okay. I don't know what to say. Oh, fuck. Hey, whose fault was that? Like, should I have, like, ran further? Like, you, like, ran into the spot, essentially. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be the one moving these, right? Because if I move them, I'm, like, moving the boss everywhere. That's not cash money. Oh god. Alright, that is probably better. Okay. Well, that wasn't too hard. It's just... I don't even know what the mechanics were. Oh, this is good. Do I bring this guy up the stairs? I'm assuming yes. This way? What the? Are these knights from Verbert or something? Oh wait, there's nothing here. Maybe I should be standing over there instead, but I don't want to reposition my here. Got him. Oh, what the? Yo, that guy's on a fucking horse. What a Chad. You guys come over here, please? Oops. This is stronger and 2 targets. Oh shit, he's outbeing this man. Yeah, this is kind of like Hades' lair. This man's just trapping himself. Kind of depressing. Oh, look at his fucking tentacles, man. Oh. He looks like a wildfire elemental. Pog. I'm coming, boys. Are these all male characters? No, only one female character. Kind of crazy. Oh, whoops. What the heck? Whoa. How? What was that? The piano just burst in flames. Oh, I need to be... I guess I'll go... Oh. Was that my fault? Like, you're supposed to provoke after you die, right? But the guy didn't heal me. Are you gonna heal me? Okay, thanks. Okay, so now I go like touch the sofa. Right? Okay, there we go. We're learning. Okay, what does this mean? How can I prevent this? Oh, he just fucked up a sofa. I don't think that was good. I think that's Camp Lester. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're all targeted this time. That didn't do shit. Oh, fuck. Where am I running to? He didn't set me on fire. Okay, we're doing it, we're doing it. Okay, easy. Ooh, that got hairy. Well, that's what happens when you don't know the fight mechanics, I guess. Go take a piss. Get some water. I decided to get some food too because I'm hungry as fuck. That's good.
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
It's the same fucking model.
Backlook, 'tis good to see you again after all these years. And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Shake? Beg?
What is going on?
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
Oh, these are orders.
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence! It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men.
He's a new Mo incel.
You are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the new Mo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
What a duplicitous asshole. Oh god, he's cooming.
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, I mustn't. Not again.
This is a dog-given voice.
That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety. Oh, you know not what you ask of me, what horrors my knowledge has wrought.
You mean the magical plague of Herbert?
You know of the plague? Then you know how dangerous soulcraft can be. Instead of saving your friends, you risk damning them. Are you sure you're willing to take that chance?
Yeah, sounds pretty lit.
No. No. Oh, very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
Are head pats sufficient?
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
Oh no, I'm eating. There you are. The others have gone ahead to the Crystal Tower with Beklug. For the record, I truly wish we hadn't had to resort to using such words when treating with them. I have ever sought to convince, not compel. Yet I cannot deny that a part of me is glad Urianger shared his knowledge of the new Mo with us. Had he not, Beklug wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry. To keep our guests waiting would only add insult to injury. Grand Cosmos? What? Oh, that was the dungeon. Duh. Oh, salmon. Oh, double salmon is crazy in here. We mustn't dally here any longer, Yunari. If Beklug is to hear the truth of our travails in the first, you of all people should be present. Oh, I instantly feel better after eating. That is so crazy. Another cutscene? Oh my god, more food. It's so pog. I'm ready. Voice acting? No? Yes? It has to be voice acting.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing, but that you hail from another world as well?
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own. And your soul is the densest of them all.
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin-Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself. As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
Time for more in-game errands. Ah. What would I do without him? You have spun quite the tale. But tell me, have you given any thoughts as to how you might return to your world? I don't think he wants to. Maybe he wants to. White Orosite, you say? An intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there is no telling what may happen to their souls within the Orosite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Yeah. Then, would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to the transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw aether from your surroundings. This process must be halted, and the resulting surfeit of aether removed. Your mind would ultimately be separated from those faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. Leaving lifeless husks, like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the Sin Eaters, their aether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted? Stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why? Do you think you might be able to help them? I might or might not, but I shan't know for sure until I have seen their condition firsthand. Then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything that might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. Well, I see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guests to the inn, I will assist Urianger in creating the requisite oversight. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Beklug as necessary? Let us make for Amarang then. I guess we're sticking to the our side plan. He seemed to kind of warn against it, but it's not. So this is Halric, is it? Yes, his aetheric balance leans perilously towards the light. Towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light. He will become a sin eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Halric was completely unresponsive before, but now... Oh, he's talking. Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate aether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Verbert. Then, for far darker purposes. Lest it falls into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it. But for their sakes, I will break that oath. It is not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. So the kid isn't evil. You know, maybe we should test it with one person at a time. Like, why are we giving to everyone? No effect. What is this warmth I feel in my chest? Are we not giving it to the kid? What the heck? I feel warm. My legs, they don't feel as heavy. Now then, have you noted any changes in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function. In most of the patients, at least. The more severely affected show no response. As I feared then. It is true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light would no longer grow. And yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time, but this holds true only for their corporeal aether. Their incorporeal aether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later states of corruption, like Halric, appear unaffected by your tonic. Precisely. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There is a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake up to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it would be possible we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Let's get this pasta, that sounds so good. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past, that I was once a mage of the royal court of Verbert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. And in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the like of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. Now you have a chance to redeem yourself. That I do. A comforting thought, indeed. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal aether. Do you think it can be done? Were the sky still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for aether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done, if it's all the same to you. forgot I dropped my phone. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. I admire your spirit. Very well, your first task will be to gather the necessary materials, the purest of waters and the finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. I mean, we can just ask the Titania, like, what the heck? Fine, we'll pay a visit to El Meg, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been in there at all, let alone befriended the Faithful. Oh, while you're about it, seek out the new Mo of Platiny. They will be able to supply you with the water suitable for our needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? It still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Oh yes, I don't have to go to El Meg. God bless. Clay from Amarang would likely be best. Know of you anyone who might be able to assist us? I mean, why would miners have like ask the scavengers? Scavengers, you say? Well, they may know the lay of the land, but I dare say they are more interested in the trinkets and baubles hiding in the earth than the earth itself. Now miners, on the other hand. Alright. What's that? You know the miners of Twine? Perfect. Speak with them and you should have no trouble procuring what we need. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can do, aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflict the people here. A convenient teleportation rocks plug. Inery, well, what a coincidence. You've come at a good time. You've just this moment finished preparing the Talos and trolley you lot took to Nabatharang. The trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter that we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us the share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. What a nice guy. Clever man that Chine is. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant Talos to work. Like a giant trolley. But Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jarek, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. And something tells me Inery here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, my friend? I see. And this familiar requires clay from Amarang. Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Buren mines to make adobe bricks. Place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're looking for the good, if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look there. Yeah, I'll kill some coyotes. Still looking. Look at how many fucking quests are in this little city. Not even city, little town. It's actually crazy. Oh, do I have to be on top of this thing? Fuck. Oh, it's over here. Actually, I might not have needed to get on here. Probably just cross that bridge, right? No, whoops. Definitely could have just crossed that bridge. But this is more fun. Oh. Oh, come on. I'm level 80, guys. Giga Scream. These are my creatures right here. The pristine clay is just laying on the floor. What the fuck? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This thing was tanky, man. The twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it? Yes. Wonderful. We need but combine the clay with water, then heat the mixture with the Fey lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Beck Luke, I have a question. In the event that we had needed this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Halric and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there is a chance the spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state combined with a strong desire to help them can drastically increase the magic's effect, and you are plainly more familiar with these people than I dare say there are few in all of Norvrent more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Yunari? Absolutely, she's the best woman for the job. I'll give it my all. For Halric, for Tisleen. Then we are all of a mind on the matter. Alizé shall be the one to conjure the familiar. Conjure.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay?
That is a fat
Very
piece of clay.
Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy.
What the fuck is a porksy?
Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
We're getting trolled.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean. There we are. How's that?
Okay.
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Alpha on you asshole.
Yes, yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Oh, look at these emotes.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
Grotesque parody of reality. Oh man. Brutal.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
This is a Parksy. Hey, that wasn't too bad. It looks like my dog.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young
Now we have to chop him up and cook him, so Hover can eat his ass.
Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
A name.
Minfilia. Tesleen.
All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
What the? You know, maybe he just doesn't speak our language. Entirely possible.
Mother,
Never mind. Mission successful? Question mark? How was he, Beklug? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. God, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Harik. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect. That is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Aurosite. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Beklug said that when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Do you really think it could work? Why shouldn't it? Gabu's condition is virtually identical to Harik's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with the earth aspect aether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him. Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow of whom you speak? I see. His condition does sound similar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here. Work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Beklug and see if you can't make some headway with their newly posited theories. I would tell you to rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium then. Finally, I found you. Oh, what the heck? What's up, dude? Kai Shear? What are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yulmore. Lady Chai is beside herself. Sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Nearly enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beklug. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yulmore is at stake. I don't care about Yulmore, to be honest. Lady Chai is up in the parlor, but it's not to keep her waiting, huh? Well, not here seems to be out of the ordinary, though I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Probably pacing around outside again, staring off into the distance and all that. Sighing. Strange. Let's see if we can find her and discover the source of her distress. she's outside. Hello, Juliet Chai. Oh, she's happy to see Alpha,
thank
no, not me.
heavens you're here.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
That is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
Well,
What? What happened?
did he have a life insurance policy?
It all began
That is a
after
very
the events
high
at
drop,
Mount
you know.
Gulg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
Oh my god, they did not
And so you
choose
held an
him.
election.
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see. After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility. Nevertheless, Yulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice. Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
If I have to do that encouragement minigame again,
You
I will
believe
shoot
he was
myself.
so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee. Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
Really? He does. He definitely does strike me as a man who would do that.
You truly think so?
No, it's Cap.
What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
Oh my god, it's time. Sorry, but I think he's fled.
Nay, my friend. The one thing he has not done is flee. Of that I am convinced. Through the most testing of times, he has ever remained at Lady Chai's side, placing her happiness before his own. He would not abandon her now.
Okay. If you say so.
Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
Pixie berry tea. Oh. Yo, potato salad sounds so good right now. It makes no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word, but even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone here will have seen something, I am sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to whether anyone saw him leave, or failing that, if they have any idea where he might have gone. I will meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on. Glory Gate, what a name. Excuse me. Master Chai? Why, yes, I spoke with him recently, though I recall he was in a rather dour mood, concerned about Yulmore's neglect of industry, you see. With Lord Vothry's apparently inexhaustible stores of meal, and no great need for money, it is little wonder our businesses were all but forgotten under his rule. But I assured Master Chai that the boutique of Splendors will do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Yulmore, which seemed to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after. Your exchange with Merlin has taught you about the stagnant state of business in Yulmore. That makes sense. Buttress? Glory Gate, right. I haven't gotten the Southeast Derelicts yet. I should get that before finishing this quest. Looking for Master Chai, are you? Is something amiss? When last I saw him, he seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted he rest and catch his breath, and we talked for a while about his concerns over the city's defenses, amongst other things. He made more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after a confrontation with Lord Vothry, and finding General Ranjit in a heap in the middle of the plaza shook us all to the core. Sorry about that. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty, and some of our longest-serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not that we blame you, of course. Without you and yours, we would still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyway, funding permitting, I propose replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the Derelicts and Gatetown. We have a duty to protect not only Yulmore, you see, but the surrounding regions of Calusia as well. And I, for one, would welcome any man or woman willing to take up arms for the cause. Indeed, I told him as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note that we parted ways. He headed outside, as I recall. Wow, he seems like a good man. Now I feel bad about shitting on him. Whoopsies. Is it an understory? I don't recall. Academia and Neater. Where is this quest? Hathenbet. What a name. I recall a man fitting that description. Asked to speak with the poor buggers lately come from right. Said he wanted to know the state of things down in the Derelicts. And you can be sure we gave him an earful. Lack of food, medicine, clothing, there was plenty to tell. We hunt high and low for whatever we can scavenge, and it's barely enough to fill our bellies. But folks here don't want to just survive, they want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling to himself. Something about finding us work, I think. Fair play to him, though. Not content with having his ears chewed about the Derelicts, he asked about the other settlements and all. After that, I can't really say. Looked like he was headed for Gatetown. I last saw him. Let's go nab this. Oh, is this? That might be East Tribes. Not sure though. Oh. There you are. How did you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer us a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts? I think it's so cool that we take notes now. I enjoy that very much. Interesting. He apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Yulmore, an idea to which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive. Sounds like he's got big plans for the place. Yulmore, I mean, not the bee. Perhaps. But the question remains, where did he go after leaving the city? Ooh. Oh, cheesecake. Yo, there's no way I'm not getting that. All we know for certain is that Master Chai has shown great concern not only for Yulmore, but its surrounding settlements. It seems logical then that after having consulted with those within the city walls, he would wish to do the same to those without. Inari, if you would go and make inquiries and write, I shall do likewise in Stilltide. Gate Town I leave to you, Kaishir. Fair enough. Where should we meet after we finished? Well, Top Rung would seem to me to be his next most likely destination. Let us reconvene there. With any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then, but if not, we will be well situated to continue our search. Where is this man? No, the name doesn't ring any bells, but there was a rather dapper-looking Mistle gentleman here not long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Wright and Yulmore, or rather the lack of. We lost a great many people to their promises of meal and the chance of lavish life among the free. And Vothri thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. I needn't tell you what happened when the seniors came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Vothri is gone now, and we're curious to see what will become of Yulmore in his absence. That's what I told your friend, China's, was it? And I'm sure the others said the same. Not what he wanted to hear, I suppose, because he left soon after. And that was that. Wait, he's top rung now, right? What's closer? This is closer for sure. Happy more Merry Christmas gift to Evelyn. What's the date? It's the 18th? You're a week away from Christmas. Oh, we have to go up? Okay. So he paid a visit to both the Wright and Gate Town as well, did he? I see. Kaishir and I gleaned much of the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Calusia, the only likely place he has left to go being Amity. Come, if we are quick, we may yet catch up with him. This is Amity, right? There's so many quests I can't see anything. Jesus. Wonder how much more we have to do. In previous expansions, it seems that post-patch, usually 4 quests, or 4 dungeons, I should say. This one was 3. So I guess we have 2 or 3 more dungeons to expect, I mean. Oh, there he is. That was easy. Inari, Alphino, Kaishir. What are you doing here? We might ask you the same, Master Chai. We have been looking all over for you. Looking for me? Whatever for? Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word and bade us to return you to her side. What in the blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it. But when she gets an idea into her head, I can only apologize. No harm done, Master Chai. But since we are here, might I ask what have compelled you to come all this way? We were told you had been elected mayor, and from what we have gathered from nearby villages, you have been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume that you mean to take office? Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Calusia. That much is true, but I am by no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. I see. Then you believe said resources can be found here? Indeed. The people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries, I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make mayor of me. Exarch? With respect, such forethought is, in itself, proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai, and I am certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For what little it is worth, we will vouch for you should he require convincing. We believe in you, Master Chai. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. You've got your actions to speak for you. What time is it right now? For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to make it into Yulmore. But that dream's gone now. Oh shit. I may have broken my charger. Lol. I think I may have also broken my charging port. Whoops. Bro. Anyway, outside of repaying Master Alphino, I haven't had a clue what to do with myself. Spent most days in a daze. But you? You've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up Mount Gold, didn't you? How hard can mayoring be? You're going to steer Yulmore to a better future, I know it. And I want to help. Properly help. Do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out on the way. If you let me come with you, that is. You look ticked off for a second. You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you, but I can't deny it gives me heart. Come then, let us press on together. Thank you, Master Shai. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Yulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I'm here, to find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly, and are you certain he's here in Amity? Brendan is his name, and yes, he is, or was. I had scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Valthry's father when he was in office. If Ranji was the mayor's right hand, one might say Rendon was the left, and between them, they kept Yulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. But even if you do, what makes you think he will listen? Before giving chase, might it not be wise to speak with those who know him here in Amity? They may be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting your overtures out of hand. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristal then. As I recall, you made rather a favorable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk to us. Where's Tristal? My boy Tristal. Greetings, friend. And to you too, Master Chai. I presume you were here to ask after Rendon? I couldn't help overhearing your earlier exchange. Yes, well, with Valthry gone, Yulmore wants for a leader. Should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Rendon's counsel in the hopes that we could build a better Yulmore together, and that is still my wish. But given how abominably you were mistreated there, I will quite understand if you choose not to help. Worry not, Master Chai. I bear no grudge against you or the people of Yulmore, and I would not see you suffer for Valthry's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Rendon can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and little patience for anyone he deems less committed to their own. Your desire to fight the wrongs of your past, of Yulmore's past, is quite admirable, but I fear the guilt you bear in the city's behalf works against you. I can see it in your eyes, in the way you carry yourself. It goes without saying he sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, Master Chai. Be more assertive, commit to this course, and prove to him Yulmore has the resolve to change. The resolve to change. I believe he was heading towards Pit 8 when he left. If you plan to go and speak with him, I suggest you be firm and clear in your intentions. Very well, to Pit 8 we shall go. And I will not take no for an answer. Nay, not even a maybe.
Well, well, it's you again.
No, I didn't. I hadn't expected Ruga in.
Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
No, I didn't invite them, as it happens. Though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Yulmoran's. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Valthry's villainy. The famous warriors of darkness.
Are they now?
Sure.
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Valthry. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable. Yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Yulmore. gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Vorthri was creating. And so I left my homeland behind. But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under Vorthri's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
I can offer no simple answer to that question. But this much I will say. It is my hope that Yulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Yulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. It seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. In ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us.
He's creating a socialist paradise.
The distinction between free and bonded died with Vorthri. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Yulmore for the people.
For the people.
A Yulmore for the people. I rather like the sound of that.
Man, China's
But before I
got a
offer you
whole
my
ass
counsel,
personality
I
swap.
would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Yulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
Valid. All right. Dude's got a Lalafell smirk. All right then. Is there a particular issue you would have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Yulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Ah, yes. Meal being neither desirable nor less sustainable option, I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. And a man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society, save violence, perhaps. So tell me, how do you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, and I will consider offering you my counsel. Is he gonna answer right on the spot? What a legend. A combination of measures would seem to be in order, one to address the immediate issue of supply and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Yulmor's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbors. This would afford us time to address the underlying problem that affects us all, the long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as sources of trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbors, guarantee security and stability in the region, and most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My, think of all that by yourself, did you? Well, yes, it began as a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago after speaking with the peoples of Yulmor and nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Chinas. I have? Well, that is a relief. Oh, you have not secured my support just yet. Only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. A fair point, Rendon, and one to which I have given much thought. I propose the use of Talos to aid in the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos? But Daedalus Stoneworks closed their doors years ago. Without a ready supply of the necessary equipment, the people would starve before your plant could be put into effect. Well, as the heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens